Welcome back to this Let's Play of the original official campaign of Neverwinter Nights 2. Last time we reconstructed our golem friend here, and we have a job to go deal with Amanjuro's Haven, which we were actually, at least we knew about sort of, for the whole entire chapter. But we haven't made much progress on that since we've been running around, getting statues with wacky abilities which are supposed to help us against the King of Shadows. Well, at any rate, once you recruit the construct, you're not really done with them. You have some options if you examine him to upgrade him further. One in particular, this craft alchemy one. If you fail,
I wasn't as reluctant as I am to do anything to this huge.
And this is actually somewhat bugged because you can continue doing it over and over again if you really want to. I don't think it actually gives the construct infinite stats. I think it just gives the construct, it's a binary. Has the craft alchemy task been done? Yes, no. If yes, then stats are improved. But I'm not going to abuse it excessively. What it does give you is influence with sand, so if you've been annoying sand the entire game, well, now's a good time to build it back up. The reality with sand is that having influence with him is not infinitely useful. Really, the question the game asks is whether you have influence with sand or Quara. It's sort of one or the other, and so whichever one is higher is better. But well, I think I'm probably past my influence with Quara, and sand is probably the higher one now. But I don't really care that much either way. They're both equally useful. To upgrade it, you need to have, I believe it's like a 15 rank, and I've cast Greater Heroism on myself off-screen. Grobnar is singing his Inspire Competence. I made myself a Headband of Intellect +8, primarily for the spellcasting, but it does also give bonuses to skills. And these Greater Gloves of the Artificer I bought from Naya in Port Last. And with all of that equipped, I can just do the other upgrades myself. You can't actually do those upgrades with anyone else from your party, except for Sand's little dialogue there. So, Construct is now a fully operational battle station. Speaking of fully operational battle stations, the Keep has a whole bunch more work we can do. I'm actually going to hold off on most of it until I have the opportunity to recruit a couple more sergeants, which requires me to progress the plot a little bit. For now, I'm just going to leave Keep time at, whatever, 25. Well, we've talked to Kana once for a progress when we walked in. Now, as I walked back outside to do some selling, and so I'm walking back in. We still have to talk to Aldenon, but when we
Captain, Mayor Ziffer is here. He's brought men with him.
We've started building our homes thanks to you, and some of the young men here wanted to join your grey cloaks. They're good men, and donning the cloak would be a good profession for them.
Captain, not all of these men are up to our standards. If we lower our standards for them, there's no turning back.
And the decision here is essentially either you annoy the villagers and increase unrest, or you essentially weaken your grey cloaks. And the more villagers you have, the more grey cloaks you'll have, the stronger the grey cloaks will be, so I'm going to choose to just accept the bad recruits.
That's wonderful, Captain. Many of the villagers already look up to your grey cloaks. I'm sure more men will come when the village grows.
I look forward to training the newest recruits.
Yeah, it's sort of that there isn't a good option there. The diplomacy is probably the best way to get out of it, because that lets you say no to recruiting them without the unrest hit. Let's talk to Kana here. And they give us the results from a special mission we did way back, which just gives us this random club and some gold. Great. And we'll organize the men, and before I organize them, I want to look at the report. Now, once you have the village, you have to keep land security at an average or better. Not demand, but really, it's rather important. So I'm going to have them patrol the lands while we are just passing through, and we'll let Keep time progress sort of very slowly. There's a lot more we could do right now. I'm just not going to do it.
Ah, welcome back. I remember you. Well, I think I do. You were the one with the shards, I hope. Yes, I am so pleased you let me visit. The last time I was here, I wasn't able to examine much to the keep or the library. Quite a shame. Oh, that is unfortunate. I occasionally return to that side project when I have time, but to be honest, it's a difficult stone to crack. I mean, it's one thing to know about a place and quite another to find it. The distinction is subtle, but there.
Okay, so what do we need to find Amangero's Haven? Lay it on me here. Let's start with the fetch quests.
Let's see. You have explored the Ilfon ruins, undergone the ritual and traveled to Old Owl Well. Although I seem to recall something regarding getting several vials of dragon's blood, and of course some lich dust. Then there's the 3 keys: bronze, silver, and red platinum. The red platinum one might need to be reforged. I think one of the pieces is an arm. Or was it the Underdark?
Master Aldenon, here is the map with the position marked, as you requested.
Okay, what map?
My question exactly. What is this nonsense? I didn't ask for any map. Can't you see we're having an important discussion here?
Master Aldenon, you requested I chart a possible location for you, based on the information you provided. I had the master cartographer and several assistants cross-checking the records, and you were correct. This location cannot be scryed, and it bears the telltale arcane marks you indicated would be there.
So? Marks of what? Specifics, please, or I'll get the gardener to handle my errands from now on.
Master Aldenon, you did not say what this place was, only what to look for. As you have said, it is one thing to find a place, and quite another thing to know about it at all.
Now, the scripting and camera work here is really amusingly, stupidly funny. I really don't want to see the wonders of video game dentistry, thank you! Anyway, so this is the map for the keys and lich dust, right?
It seems so. What a relief.
Oh, I guess
Though
not.
I could have used some dragon blood and some lich dust, and there's no way I'd go hunting for reagents like that. No thank you. But yes, I seem to recall asking for this. Well done, Aldenon, I say. Which I do. Good for me. Wouldn't you agree?
No.
Sure looks buried deep within the mountains.
Oh, well, I'm not certain it's there, but if I were to guess where one would place a labyrinth of death traps, well, mountains are always a good source of stone. Labyrinths need walls, you know, and stone walls seem to be favored.
Great. Can we go now? My ancestors' death-filled labyrinth awaits, apparently.
Master Aldenon, there was more to the map, and what the diviners found. Even with the wards, the concentration of infernal magics there.
Oh, trust me, demons shouldn't pose any problems, especially for a well-trained, armed, spirited group like that. Now, if you had told me that those men at Crossroad Keep had completed that terrible ritual of shadows, then I would be concerned.
Okay. He is a little bit oblivious. Okay, very oblivious. But at least he has confidence in my abilities. Anyway, in addition to all the other reconstructions that I've done sort of off-screen, there's a desk here with, these are like the captain's quarters or something, with a key, and you can actually use that key as a just tool set for a rogue if you really wanted to. I haven't used any tool sets at all so far this game because Nishka has been out of my party, and frankly there are better ways to boost your skill. There's also this cabinet over here, which contains a bag of holding. Bag of holding is one of those, essentially reduces the weight of anything in it to 0. So with that, you can more or less carry infinite stuff. I think there are like 100 spots in the bag of holding. So there's not really any point for. You can also store things in some of these locations in like this the war room. Sorry, but not much point when you can just put it all in the bag. I'm gonna hit the road and meet you at Amangero's Haven. Hit the road and get a cutscene, unfortunately. It's sort of amusing.
Metallurgy, thaumaturgy, yes, you heard me. Building a golem, I hope, will serve thee. No, that rhyme doesn't quite work, does it? Maybe if I use alchemy,
Either way, it won't work. That construct you're messing with, Gnome, it's dangerous.
Ah, this is in safe hands, Sir Bishop. Gnome hands, as it were, being my name.
How reassuring. I'll be sure to remind myself who's to blame when it turns on us.
Oh, there is little fear of that. I think. Any accomplished craftsman takes care to put safety wards so that they might command their own creation.
That's as comforting as leaving the village idiot in charge of a trebuchet.
Oh, come now. That's hardly a proper analogy. It's more like leaving the village idiot in charge of a huge savage, nearly unstoppable wolf, who can only understand simple commands like kill, or stop killing, or oh no, put both halves of that man down this instant. But really, this blade golem is such a gentle, unassuming creature. It would never do something so horrible, would you? Construct? Would you?
So what you're saying is if you're killed, we have no way of shutting this thing down.
Oh, no. The words of command aren't cued to my voice. Only the words matter. Much like one would utter when using a wand, staff, or other device. Anyone can use them. It's only a matter of knowing what they are. I imagine that's how the construct was issued its orders from its awful masters.
Hate to have that happen again, provided they don't already have the backup wards already in place. That's what I would do.
You really think they might?
It always pays to have a second who knows the commands, Gnome. Especially if there's any chance the creator could be killed or wiped out. Otherwise, you're leaving yourself vulnerable.
I hadn't considered that. But what if I was harmed, unconscious, or, my word, even killed? Why, the consequences could prove disastrous.
They could. But you could always take precautions, provided you knew someone you could trust.
Would you trust Bishop with your killer golem? I sure as heck wouldn't. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the road and set up my party, and next time meet you at Amenjaro's Haven, because we're out of time for this episode. So, see you then.